What's going on, everyone? This is Corey with Xbox Tavern with another review. Today I'm looking at CorpoNation, the sorting process. Now this is a game that has existed on PC and is now available for Xbox, and I got a chance to play it. CorpoNation, the sorting process, I'm just going to refer to CorpoNation from now on, is an interesting game. It is narratively driven, and your main goal is kind of to figure out the inner workings of this company that you kind of wake up in. This is your life. You go to work for this company, but although it kind of seems like you're starting your job for the very first day, but you have no memory before that. And then you go home to your pod provided by said company to do your relaxation and your after work activities, and then wake up and repeat the process. So there are kind of two games going on at the same point. You have the narrative. So as you complete your work and go back to your home base pod, that's a day. And as you complete so many days, that's your week. And as the weeks go on, you start to learn more and more about this company and maybe how things may not seem as, they are given to you. Every day, if we start out with the work that you wake up and you go to your place of work, and that is the sorting room. It is your job to sort genetic samples, and you don't question it, you do it. Now, this part is kind of like what you see is the main game. This is where you're going to be doing something. You're going to be getting these kind of card-like tiles, and you need to sort them into alpha, beta, delta, and zeta categories based off of different criteria. Some of them are going to be number patterns. Some of them are going to be geometric patterns. There's going to be descriptions. There's going to be all kinds of stuff that as you play the game, you're going to build your repertoire, your employee guide of what you will come across and how to handle them. And that's only the first part. Now, this was really interesting to play, and I kind of got into this part, especially as it got more complex. You wanted to kind of see how fast and how accurate you could do it. Now, they get more complex than just giving you 4 different sorting categories and then different cards you're going to encounter. They start to add different variations to them, and you have to do things to them. So that part of the game is kind of self-contained, and it's a little bit fun. You do your work, you get paid based off of your performance. You do good enough, at the end of the week, you have a review process, and you may get promoted. So that kind of like just all builds and feeds into your after work activities. These after work activities include going back to your pod and browsing the computer. And what you can do on the computer is read news stories, news articles. You can chat with your other pod mates that they kind of give you. And you can play games and pay your bills, of course. There's a fighting game and a solitaire game that you can play for credits, and that's how you spend your money. And as you learn, this company wants you to invest back into the company. So if you save up too much, they're gonna start fining you, like taxes on it, basically. So it's a really interesting narrative how the company is controlling you or trying to, and how you react to it. I mentioned how you have pod mates you can talk to every day. Sometimes they may try to sway you into thinking outside of the proverbial box, and it is your job as a faithful employee to report them. Those kind of things start kind of coming out. Then, not to spoil it anything past this, but you learn that there is an outside organization, and you have to start weighing what you as an employee of this company believe in versus what you're going to do. So I'm going to leave the story at that because it does get super interesting. The only cons I can think of when it came to playing this game is one, there's a lot of reading. There's no voice, and the sounds are just kind of like the ambient background music and things like that. So you have to do a lot of reading, but a lot of it is in short bursts, and it even as a non kind of reader in a video game, it did bring me into the world, and it did serve its purpose. The other thing is the sorting process. Now, it's very easy to take a card and move it to the right sorting tube. Again, this is that main gameplay loop. The problem is with the controller, it was a little hard to pick the tube that you wanted and then make sure that the card went into that tube. More times than I would like, the cursor would move it like the last second because you had to kind of aim the stick towards the tube. And if it was like just a hair bit off, it would move, and like hitting the A button to submit or whatever, it would kind of just move my cursor and make me get, an inaccurate sampling. What I did come to find is you can plug in a mouse with this game into your Xbox, and using a mouse was tenfold better experience when it came to that. Now, I don't know if it was my mouse or other things. It was a little slow, a little laggy. I'm not going to knock off any points for that because that could have been my hardware. What I did come to find out again after that is that this game is play anywhere. So that means you can actually buy it for Xbox and boot it up on your PC as well. And of course, that's going to be full mouse and keyboard. And that's where I ended up preferring to play because everything was very smooth and free flowing. And that's kind of it for the cons. The pros are the story is really good. The gameplay loop is kind of addicting, and it has great accessibility options. I was kind of mentioning in general how complex the sorting can get with all of the directions you are given. There is options to adjust so many different things about that process to where you can make it easier or harder for yourself, and you can kind of tailor the gameplay to you for that. So I really appreciate it that was an option, and yeah, it just made me enjoy the game that much more. So yeah, it's a quirky game. I've never played a game quite like it. And if you're kind of into this Big Brother type narrative, then maybe give it a shot. Don't let the simplistic look fool you. This is a deep game when it comes to that. And yeah, I enjoyed this way more than I thought I probably would have just looking at some screenshots and some gameplay trailers. So yeah, that was CorpoNation, the sorting process, out now on Xbox. Again, it's play anywhere. You can use mice on your Xbox to make it kind of feel like it does in its original PC environment. It's all great things as far as that goes. But yeah, if you're not already on Xbox Tavern, be sure to go there and check out the final score for this game, as well as our reviews that we put out almost every day. With that, I've been Corey. I'll see you in the next one.